Greetings and welcome back to another episode of the Corrupt Crew Chronicles. Yeah, you all. So I'm back with another video, and before I just get into everything, that just on me, to actually talk about, I wanted to just revisit that about that bomb threat that happened with that circus code on Thursday of this week, during their funky feast of trumpets. I've talked to a lot of my brother. I don't say a lot, but a few of my brothers and sisters who are no longer in there. And we have just all come to the consensus that the number one suspect, and it's not saying that he actually did it, but the number one suspect who would have done that, who had any type of, I guess you say it would have been to his benefit, is that circus cult leader, Shitty One himself. Either he did or he put someone up to doing it. He was involved in it. He put one of the members up to doing it. And the reason being is because reporting false information to any law enforcement agency. It doesn't matter if it's FBI. It doesn't matter if it's a state bureau of investigations like GBI. It doesn't matter if it's the sheriff's department. It doesn't matter if it's the local police department. That is a crime. That's a crime. And then on top of that, if it's talking about a bomb in a any building of a bomb, that's a federal crime, and especially a religious organization building. Y'all, who is going to risk their freedom? Who's going to risk their freedom? And I'm going to tell you, I myself personally, this is from Amber, personally, just believe he is the number one suspect because I've been putting out all this information on him. Everything I've been saying is lined up. Everything has been the truth. I have documentation to back up. I put in 104 claim complaints, okay? The main one about that little boy in there being sexually violated in there by that teenage boy. That's the main one. And it's come out that circus code leader, Shitty One, did not report it. And so he trying to get, authorities to look at me. I can tell you again, I did not contact them about a bomb threat, and I don't know who contacted them about a bomb threat regarding that circus code. No, and I'm sure that they ran my phone number. I'm sure they did. Because I know he's still got my phone number. I know some of them, those males and females sitting in there some of them still got my phone number. I know that. They can sit up here and they trace your phone number, sit up here and see how close you were to towers and stuff to, because your cell phone ping off. And I'm going to tell y'all something else too, because see, I didn't go into all of it on Thursday because I was just Thursday night when I made the video. I was just like, man, what? Somebody sat here and they did a bomb threat, to that circus call. Now, I got 2 phone calls on Thursday night. Now, this was right after it was announced and they owned up out of there. One was a 1888 number. Another one was a 770 area code. I took screenshots of both of them. Okay. And the time, how you can go into your phone, and I don't know, how your phone, everybody's phone is different, but I know on my phone, when someone at any phone call, whether it's an outgoing phone call that I make or either it's an incoming phone call, I can click on the number and it'll come up and say call details and click on that and it give the call details, the number, the phone number, the length of the call, if it was actually picked up or if it was, a call that was not picked up, and also the time. It will also give the time of the call. And that happened too, like I said, 2 different numbers. And I didn't put that on that video because, it was just so much, information I was putting out. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, about this bomb threat, with the circus code. And then on the next day, so that was Thursday night, then on the next day, Friday, it was late afternoon. I actually got from the same 1888 number, and it was a number later on from Louisiana. It came up. Yeah, the area code from Louisiana. Now, my thing is, I'm going to run those numbers. See, what it is, like I said, divine spirit and my ancestors, y'all don't want to see, he's already did it. Circus code leader, Shitty 1, chief of the terrorists, nigga bum 1, commander-in-chief of the clowns, he didn't already set up here and then made me into where he is public enemy number 1 to me. And I mean that. I'm a predator on him. When I say predator, praying mantis, predator, or what, that means I'm not doing anything that's against the law. No, I have not done one thing that's against local, state, or federal laws. I have not showed up to their property, whether that be over at their circus code, because that is private property. When you're talking about religious organization, buildings, that's private property. Yeah, I looked up all this. Like I said, I look up laws. I look up, sit up here. Yeah, I could, if I wanted to, I could stand outside on that sidewalk, though, because that's public. That's public domain. But why would I sit here and do that? I'm not doing that. Like I said, no, I do what divine spirit and my ancestors, directors they give me, I go ahead and I follow them. I have not shown up to their home, any of them members' homes up in there. I have not shown up at any of their businesses. See, because I already know authorities asked him that. Authorities asked him that because I know he gave my name. I know he did. I know when I say he, I'm talking about this circus code leader, Shitty 1. I know he gave my name, and that's fine. That's fine because I check out. I mean, everything me checks out. Like I said, they sit up here and run my number everything. She wasn't anywhere. She far, 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 far away from that location. So, couldn't have been her, Simba, and even planting it. If it was actually, if I'm there, I'm not going to sit here and I've said this before. I, myself, this is me, Amber, speaking for myself, okay? This personal now. I am not risking my freedom for anyone. And I'm talking about being in those silver bracelets that connect, orange jumpsuit, behind bars. I'm not risking my freedom for anyone. And I don't care who it is. Like I said, I'm getting him through the law and that's just it. And hopefully through a class action lawsuit. And that's why I've been saying from day one and talking to my fellow brothers and sisters who's no longer in there, that, and I even put that out there on videos, that anyone of my fellow brothers and sisters who feel like, that's no longer in there, they're like, we want to get back at them, that's not the way to go. Violence is not the way to go. You got to get him through the law. You got to get him through a lawsuit, through the court, through the law, through, putting in complaints, claims. And that's just what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm reporting crime. I'm reporting criminals. And that's exactly fraudulent activity. That's what I've been on. And that's what I am on. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and say that, yeah, he would be the number one suspect. And like I said, if he did do that, if that circus code leader had anything to do with that bomb threat, to that circus code, that right there, he shouldn't have did that. That's a very bad look on him because he already is in a bad light. He's already put himself in a bad light. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say this. Last Sunday is something because last Sunday on the video that I made last Sunday, I was saying I hoped that the authorities came during that funky feast. Now, I was saying it in reference to that little boy being sexually violated in there by that teenage boy. Because y'all know I already went through that on that video that I actually did a follow-up with DFACS, those directors, and then after I did the video, my divine spirit of my ancestors said, go ahead and forward this email, follow-up email, and the initial email complaint that you did with the directors on to that local law enforcement police department, and put attention that captain's first and last thing. And that's exactly what I did. And I also went ahead and I copied the 2 defects directors on that email. See, it's a lot of stuff, y'all. Like I said, divine spirit of my ancestors, they give it to me. And I'm telling you, him and anybody he got up in there and even out of there are no match for divine spirit of my ancestors. See, because I mean that this little boy gonna get justice. This little boy who been sexually violated in there by that teenage boy, I done went to the altar. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let it all go ahead. I went to the altar for this little boy. This week I've been communing, which I always commune with divine spirit in my ancestors, but I went to the altar. And those of you, and that's spiritual. That's got to do with spirituality. I, on behalf of that little boy, I went to the altar to my ancestors. And divine spirit. Him. And I'm going to go ahead and put out the message that I received. That was this week. Okay? That little boy who was sexually violated in there by that teenage boy in that circus club. His innocent blood is on the hands of any and everybody who knew about it, knows about it, and haven't did anything to help him. And that comes from divine spirit. May the chips fall where they may. May the chips fall where they may. And I mean that. And when I say that I'm not letting it go, what I mean by that is that, again, that little boy who was sexually violated in there by that teenage boy, he come of age. He gets to be a majority, gets to be grown, a grown man. We get into connection, back into connection. I am going to, like I said on the one video, show him all the evidence and everything. And if he want to go forward with a lawsuit, then I'm going to help him all I can. That's what I mean by that. But my hand's off of it. Now my hand's clean. My hand's clean. I already went through that on a few videos back. But I went ahead, and I wanted to solidify it. And I did this week. Sure did. I sure did. Went on to the altar. Okay? And with my ancestors and divine spirit. And that's what's been said. And we're going to see what it's going to be. See, he in there scrambling. And I'm going to tell you, he in there scrambling right now. He in there scrambling. And I'm going to get to that. But I'm going to get to this first because I told a brother who's no longer in there, because we were, actually in communication back and forth yesterday. And this brother gave me information. He gave me the green light to go ahead and say his name. And this is the brother who had the barbershop that circus cult leader Shitty One sued, and the judge ruled in favor of the brother. Okay? Brother Solomon. He gave him the green light to go ahead and say his name, so I'm saying it. Sure did. Brother Solomon. Y'all know Brother Solomon. Y'all remember Brother Solomon. Those y'all remember him. Okay. We were just, actually communicating back and forth actually yesterday and everything, and he bring out about that he called Brother Solomon something else. He called the whore her wife Shitty too, hood whore, the hood whore. I was rolling. Now tell me, why come 2 weeks before Brother Solomon left on up out of there, because he left on up out of there on his own. 2 weeks before, he And I know that Brother Solomon is not lying. Brother Solomon is telling the truth about this. And I'm going to get to tell you how firsthand I know he's telling the truth about it. Okay. He tells me, Brother Solomon tells me that she going to sit up here talking about the horrible wife shitty too. Gonna tell him this is after they did the two mics in the mine, because Brother Solomon used to be on there too or whatever, hosting the two mics in the mine, and they no longer do that anymore either. And he'll probably hear this and let's go ahead and start that back up again, whatever, that circus code leader shitty one. But anyway, anyhow, told him that she can't stand him talking about shitty one, talking about circus code leader. The whore of a wife, shitty too, told Brother Solomon 2 weeks before he left from on up out of there. This is after they did episode or two mics of mine, that she, shitty too, cannot stand him, circus code leader shitty one. Also, that she has to carry a pair of extra panties around because he is impacting her flow. Y'all know what I'm talking about, flow for women, okay? Now, why she sitting up here telling him this, and then he's got witnesses, because one brother who's no longer in there, now this was a brother who was from Texas. He was married, and he's still married. He left on up out of tall brother, very intelligent. I think he had a master's degree as well, and everything. Cause Brother Solomon got a master's degree. Intelligent, just got these intelligent, brothers and sisters. But yeah, this one tall, and he's from Texas, and his wife very intelligent. She's like I think got a degree in engineering. I want to say that she had a master's degree in it. Actually very, very intelligent, but came on up there from Texas, and this was back in 2010 when they came in, actually, and he went ahead and left on up out of there, and then his wife stayed in there, and they have like 4 or 5 children, and she stayed, and then finally she left, and they moved on back to Texas. He was present now this is when shitty too, that horrible wife, said this to Brother Solomon. He was present, and then also track star, the usher that shitty one circus leader had to sit down because he was caught having sex with the other female usher in there, who's the mammy of shitty one circus cult leader's whore of a daughter-in-law. Yeah, I already talked about them. So I want to give descriptions for them because Brother Solomon said I could say his name. But yeah, said it right there in front of them. And how I know that Brother Solomon is not lying is because when we were over in the first building on Glenwood Road, not the bowling alley, but the first building, it was on a Saturday. I had something happened. I'll just be discreet. Something happened with me or whatever, and I had to go into the restroom, whatever, the girls' restroom, and I was in a stall or whatever, and the horrible wife, shitty too, she, seen it, knew about it. And so she came in there. It was just me and her in there. She was standing up there by the door, and I was in the stall, one of the stalls with the door closed, or whatever. And she was talking to me, and she said, yeah, she was just, and she started up the conversation about, she came in there to check on me, but she was like, yeah, they had to do, it was a medical procedure or whatever, talking about with her female. Yeah. And so that's how I know when it's talking about with the flow. But like how Brother Solomon said, he also believes that she had them panties in her extra pair of panties because she's slutting. And that's exactly the word that Brother Solomon used, slutting. And I have to say, yeah, I agree with that, because she stood right up there. And this was in 2015 when we was having them confessions in that raggedy ass dump of a building they sitting in now, and she confessed that she had committed adultery on Shitty One, that circus cult leader. Now, I know some of y'all who's listening remember that, and I know Sis Keita remember, because she remembers everything. And I'm going to go ahead and say this on that one video when I was talking about them, where Shitty One, Circus Code leader, used to bring in them shirts or whatever. You know, he had them dry clean and everything, them dress shirts and everything. And then he wanted, in 2015, he started, charging, for wanting them brothers to with them males in there to pay. For, and he was getting upset because they didn't want to buy the shirts or whatever. And I was like, I didn't know she remembered that. Now, yeah, Sis Keita remembers that. We had a conversation. She's like, yeah, I remember that, sis. She remembers, yeah, everything we were talking in there. We discussed a lot of stuff while we were still sitting in there. Yeah, but I just want to go ahead and I want to get that on out, because I told myself I'm going to show enough going to say it, talking about, with Brother Solomon. And now this is two brothers who no longer in there. Brother Solomon and Callie. I talked about Callie videos back and everything, and how she's up in there. And when I say she, I'm talking about that whore of a wife, Shitty too, and how she's up in there and she's in these brothers' faces talking about this personal information. That is inappropriate. That is inappropriate. I remember how that circus code leader, Shitty One, he used to come down on especially the single sisters. Like I said, I was a single sister when I came up in there, and I was a single sister when I left from up out of there. So I was single the whole time, me being in there. And he used to always come down on us, don't say down, but always talk about, don't y'all be in these brothers' faces. And if a brother wants you, ain't nothing wrong with talking, but don't you be busy. He called being busy. Don't y'all sisters around here, there's y'all single sisters, don't y'all be busy with these brothers up in here. Get a reputation about yourself. What about your whore of a wife? Shitty too. You got whores all around you, nigga bum one. Yeah, I'm talking to you, nigga bum one. I'm talking to you, Shitty One. I'm talking to you, circus cult leader. I'm talking to you, chief of the terrorists. I'm talking to you, commander-in-chief of the clowns. You got whores all around you, and that main whore you got is your wife. Shitty too. That's inappropriate. I don't care, even if she's sitting up here and even if she's out of there. That's inappropriate for a lady does not carry herself in that manner. Baby, I'm a lady. I'm a woman and a lady. Okay? Because you got women who are women, but they're not ladies. I'm a woman and a lady. I'm not a whore. And there's no way I would ever talk with a man about some personal, intimate like that about myself. And she's sitting in there, and that's your whore of a wife. Shitty too. You got whores all around you, nigga bum one. And I mean that. Sit here and always trying to run down somebody else, and nobody sitting up there doing anything wrong up in there. And then I wouldn't sit there put it past if she hadn't been sleeping with one of them males or something up in there. I'm being serious about it. She hot in that dress, in that doggone skirt. You can be all, the woman can be covered from head to toe and be a whore. Don't have me there. It's talking about a woman's character. So her a lady, make her into a lady. Her character. It don't have nothing to do with the clothing. All covered up. And in there hot and fanning around, flapping around. Them males like that. Yeah, and like Brother Simon, she said a lot of slick shit. Yeah, she said something slick to me. As far as for when we were standing out there, I never forget, it was at that Ready to Dump building. It was on a Saturday. And it was really, the weather was beautiful outside. It was like maybe being spring or something like that. It was good weather. And we were standing outside. It was a few of us actually standing outside, and I was outside and I was talking to the one male who used to be in there. He done left on from about there, and he married him off to the one female who was in there who used to live with me. I'm talking about the first one that I took care of, who's on my 2011 taxes that I sat here and I put down as a dependent. And yes, she went in there with me, talking about with the male, the tax man. Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and claim her as a dependent. And she was right there with me when we went in there. So it wasn't no funny stuff. It wasn't like, oh, I took her social security number. Oh, and I went on there. No, me and her went together. And it wasn't no plan of mine. He just said, because he was asking if she was going to file taxes. And she was like, well, no, I only work, because she only worked for like 2 months. When she first moved in with me, she had been working a month, and then she worked another month after she moved in with me, and she didn't work anymore except at, I think it was like maybe 3 weeks at a hotel. And I'll get to that. I took care of her, all her living expenses for well over a year. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She come from another country, from another continent. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Well, anyhow, I was talking to, and see, he was, at that time they were not married, because they didn't get married until June of 2016, after I had left on from about there. But he was just, and me and him, we were just cool. We were just, kind of, close like that, just brother and sister. And so we were standing out there, and I had said something, funny, because I have a sense of humor, and I said something funny, and and he was like, and Shitty, that horrible wife, Shitty too, was walking past, and he just looked at her. He said, sister so-and-so, what's wrong with her? And she gonna sit up here and gonna look at me and gonna say crack. Like I was on crack. I sat up here and I took my right hand and I pushed her left shoulder, pushed her hard. Sure did. Don't you say nothing slick to me, bitch. Yeah, I called you a whore bitch. Yeah, whore bitch. Come out the mouth. Talking slick with me, I sure did. And she went back and she told Shitty One, that circus code leader, because and that was on a Wednesday night, the next service, because that was on a Saturday when it happened. On that next service on a Wednesday night, he got up there and he was saying, people sit up there and hit folks because they ugly. Well, no, I'm not ugly. I'm beautiful inside and out, nigga bum one. And I have very high self-esteem. I love myself. Self-love, self-worth on point, baby. Platinum. You hear me? Yeah. No, that's you with the low self-esteem. That's you who look in the mirror and you are ugly. You are ugly. Now, all that evil coming out, and with your ugly whore wife. Shitty too. And your ugly grandbabies. I'm going to get on that too. Like I said, today, I don't know how many videos I'm going to make, but I just want to go ahead and I want to get that out, because I told Brother Solomon that I was going to put that in my next video. And yeah, sure enough. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'll be back with another video. But until that time, I'm signing out.